three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
For sure.
Okay, so Super Bowl prediction.
Yeah, prediction.
Let's go straight to it. Three guys here. Super Bowl prediction. Who do you got? Looking at both sides, like just off the top of your head, if you had to pick right now, who are you picking?
Seattle and Buffalo, and Seattle's winning. Defense wins championships, and I'm biased, so that's my pick.
Seattle, Buffalo. Okay. I if anything would be par for this weird season, Jacksonville will come out of nowhere, go to the Super Bowl, and Seattle would just be like, yeah, hey, I'm Sam Darnold. I just signed here in the offseason, and I'm going to win a Super Bowl because Minnesota gave up on me.
Sam Darnold as a Super Bowl champion just doesn't seem right, does it? But it's going to happen.
It could happen.
I think Drake May is going to light up the Seattle defense.
I really think New England's going to be trouble for Seattle.
Cooper, they didn't bring us here to change the past.
Say that again.
They didn't bring us here to change the past.
They didn't bring us here at all. We brought ourselves.
Hot summer nights, mid-July, when you and I were forever wild. The crazy days, city lights, the way you'd play with me like a child. Will you still love me when I'm no longer young and beautiful? Will you still
Yeah, Trey.
We're giving you your moment.
We did
giving you your moment, Trey. 3 weeks in a row, you show up to start the show for us, and no better way to start it with a happy, smiling Trey coming off a victory. I think it's better than a sad, crying Trey.
Way better. You guys didn't want to see me if we had lost. There was no other option.
There is a second there in that fourth quarter where I thought a comeback might be possible. And my stomach sunk for you, Trey. I was picturing what a crying Trey would look like. All those tears of joy, I just saw coming out as boogers out of your nose and unconsolable sobbing. But in an electric Super Bowl 60, the Seahawks found a way.
Yeah, thank God. I had the same small inkling of feeling when they were driving there, and Drake May just threw the worst pass I've ever seen in my life. And it was over. It was over after that. We started celebrating. Obviously, you guys saw the video. I was going around and crying and hugging everybody in the bar. It was the greatest day of my life, and I'm so happy that we finally got some revenge for little 11-year-old Trey, and we're world champs.
Was it everything you thought it would be? Like, is your life complete? Is your year off to a good start, or does it like die off quickly, or are you still riding the wave?
Oh no, still riding the wave. This is like Treycation, you called it before we started. Like we got I haven't even seen my dad yet. Like I've just been celebrating with my friends. I can't wait to give him a big hug. The party hasn't stopped yet. Wish I was going to the parade tomorrow, but this will do for now.
All right, well Trey, since this is your big moment, why don't you welcome everybody to the show here for us?
Okay, welcome to the 112th episode of The Ride. I remember it was episode 97 or so. It was 21 weeks of football. I went back a long ways to see if anybody else had picked Seattle in the Super Bowl. Chevy did. And welcome, Jamin, Ernie. Thank you, Bruno. Happy birthday, by the way. My dad, I'm sure Rubio's out there smiling somewhere too. We were going pretty hard celebrating in the chat this week. So welcome to the ride, everybody.
And guys, we're brought to you every week by Performance Freight Management, We Drone Real Estate Media, and YYC Business. And as Trey said before, guys, thanks for joining us. Bruno, got to wish you a special happy birthday. I was watching the game with Bruno. We had to go to 2 locations to watch the game. We started at Shanks South, took 2 hours for our food, and after Happy Easter Bunny, we went to Limerick's pub. So we basically sampled nachos in 2 different pubs, but it was great to watch the show, watch the game. And I mean, we were tweeting or texting each other most of the game. There wasn't that much drama. If we're being real, Trey, Sheldon, I don't know what you thought about the game. I know Trey will call it a defensive masterclass, but there wasn't much drama. There was a little hiccup at the end. In fact, that play that Sheldon referenced when Drake May, I actually thought, fantastic pocket presence. He was being rushed all night. In that particular instance, he stepped up in the pocket, clean throw, receiver wide open, and he underthrews. And I know that was it. I knew that was it for the game. And at that moment, I could sense that Trey was at the bar. Where were you, Trey? What bar were you at celebrating there?
We were at the Pick and Duke on 12th and 12th.
Okay. You mentioned that.
Yeah, we had a great time actually. They had the posters going with like the scores on each side. So we threw a couple dollars in the hat there. They were giving away jerseys and stuff throughout the game. So it was a great time actually.
That's good. And I was very happy for you. For me as a football fan, it was a bit meh. A couple of nice plays by Seattle, a couple of breakout runs that I really enjoyed watching. But I mean, for the most part, I could have had this. We could have run the show and turned to the screen every once in a while to see what was going on. There was 1 million punts in that game. In fact, I'm going to take a look and see how many there were. Yeah. But
Trey,
Sheldon, what did you think?
I just got a message. I think Facebook and Instagram are down right now.
Okay, I'll take a look and get that going again.
Couldn't have been anything to do with the copyrighted material you put into your video.
Definitely not.
Sheldon, 15 punts.
Yeah.
You never see 15 on top of, what was it, 4 field goals, 5 field goals? How many
five field goals? Yeah. New Super Bowl record, in fact.
I don't know. Do you want to see the long snapper and the punter be kind of the front and center of the game, like in the biggest game of life?
It should never be front and center unless they screwed up. If your long snapper had a solid game, it's like having your weak side guard having a strong game. You shouldn't expect to get talked about a whole lot. My thing is, like, during the chat, and I know you're busy. You had a lot of kids hockey and stuff going on, evaluations and trials or whatever that you were going through there. I'm glad you got a chance to hook up with Bruno, because that's at least I'm sure made it a little more fun to watch that. But during the chat we had on the side, Trey was in love with that Seattle defense, and for good reason. They look good. I mean, that the blitz package was on. But the thing that bothered me about the game wasn't the fact about how one-sided it was. It was Seattle was great, but I looked at so many opportunities that Drake May had in the first 3 quarters, where when he finally started to run late, playing that north-south game, there were more opportunities. Sure, he might have gotten sacked, but I mean, what was he sacked? 6 times, 7 times?
I think it was 6 times.
6 times. Yeah.
6 times. Had he taken the game into his own feet a little early on, yeah, it could have been a little bit different. Had he had not such a problem with accuracy, it could have been a little bit better of a game. No doubt, Seattle was going to win that game. They had the plan. They executed. What's that defense? The 2-3-2 or the 2-3-2? There was nothing there. I mean, you had to hit tight windows, tight margins, and the run game was non-existent. But there were things that were open, receivers that did run free. If he wasn't so shell-shocked, if he could get his eyes up the field a little bit, I think it could have been a little bit more of an exciting game. But for me, I'm happy for Trey. But to be honest with you guys, that was probably, if not the worst game ever that I've ever watched. It was certainly the worst Super Bowl I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was close. In terms of, I won't say the worst football game I've ever watched. I don't know if I didn't even think that far ahead, but definitely for me, it wasn't the great Super Bowl. And you and I, Sheldon, we both played defense. I mean, what that game showed is the total dominance of a front seven. With 6 sacks, I'm not even sure how many pressures, but the 2 interceptions. 2 interceptions. And sorry, Trey, just give me 1 second. The 79 rushing yards. That tells me that defense was on the other side of the line of scrimmage most of the game, and it showed. You saw the whole night. I mean, the completions Drake May made, some of them, the little check down passes, he was like 1 step away from getting destroyed, and it was a little check down.
But you know what else? But I'll say, go take this back to Seattle. So was Darnold. I mean, New England came out with a good package. They got pressure on him, but I had no idea that he was such a little escape artist. Like some of the blitzes that he avoided, his ability, and now he didn't run a whole lot, but he got free, stepped up in the pocket, and maybe it's all the beatings he's taken in his life. Maybe he's already taken all those hard lumps and rough lessons that he learned, but he was unfazed by the pressure. For the first half of the football game, I think New England had equal the number of pressures on it, but Sam Darnold had a presence of mind that young Drake May just didn't show. So, did Darnold win this Super Bowl? He didn't win it on his own shoulders 100%, but I thought he was brilliant in keeping his head, avoiding the rush, and avoiding that big mistake. Yeah. So for all of you Sam Darnold haters, he's always failed in the past. Maybe, or those that have got his back and want to see something out of him. I thought he played about as good as a guy can play against that good of a defense. I was impressed. I mean, I don't think Seattle's going anywhere. If anything, I feel more secure about Sam at quarterback now than I did midway through the season. Trey, your thoughts?
Is this? Sorry, I just wanted to ask you one thing. Is this situation, with Sam Darnold at the helm, is this a similar situation to like Baltimore Ravens with the dominant defense and just throwing you win a Super Bowl with Joe Flacco, you win a Super Bowl with what's his nuts?
Trent
Dilfer. Is a situation like that, like the Buccaneers back in the day with Brad Johnson and that great Tampa 2 defense, or is Sam Darnold offer a little bit more? I mean, he had some weapons. I don't know where he sits in terms of he
kept his head like no other quarterback in that situation I've seen in a long time, short of a Patrick Mahomes, whose head's always on the next level, the next play. There were certain things. It wasn't fun to watch him. Yeah, unless you're a massive Hawks fan for sure, Trey, right? But the thing that impressed me the most was the way he kept his head, because I think he could have easily been sacked 5 times in the first half alone, and he just kept breaking out of tackles, sidestepping, and kept his eyes down the field. That's probably what impressed me the most about the Hawks offense. It just kept the ball moving. A big play, right? They were stifled to be 3rd and long, 2nd and whatever. One big play, get down the field, they get stopped again, but that one big play got them into field goal range, and that seemed to be the story of the night for them.
And I like what Diamond Dash wrote just now.
Yeah, I was literally trying to get that out, but he had the most turnovers in the league this year, with like 20 interception, or well, I guess they're not all interceptions, you get a couple fumbles, but 0 turnovers. The first time ever that a team has gone 0 turnovers and won the Super Bowl in the playoffs. I don't know what else to say. Like, he's a good quarterback. He went from seeing ghosts to seeing a Lombardi. He did what he had to do. They didn't ask a lot of him, but he did what he had to do and some. And I'm so happy for him. Like just such a redemption story. Like,
and
his first NFL pass was a pick six. Like he was just touted to be a bust from the start, and to come all the way to world champion a couple years later, it's just I'm so happy for him.
Yeah, no, I'm happy for him. I'm happy for Seahawks, and it's interesting because back in the day, I always liked the Seahawks under Pete Carroll. I liked his coaching style. He was intense. He was aggressive. He was involved, but he was also very positive. He had that seemingly positive attitude that was just contagious. And his Seahawks were a well-prepared, well-oiled machine. Could have had those 2 Super Bowls. They only came out with 1 during his tenure, but then. Or actually, they come out with 2. I think, it was 2 during just one. They went to 2 or 3 under his tenure. But that being said,
Mike Holmgren was the coach when they went the first time.
Oh, Mike Holmgren, that's correct. Sorry about that. But I could get behind them, and I typically love the underdog story. Like, I love Kurt Warner's story, his movie. I met him. And Sam Darnold to me represents that, but not just yet. And I don't know what it is, but I love everything about the performance. I love everything about what he did. But I think it was because that defense made the game. And like Sheldon said, I mean, he did what he had to do, but there was nothing spectacular on that side of the ball that was just like, okay. And I get it was vanilla, mistake-free football. And it won the championship.
Mixed in with Kenneth Walker, 135-yard performance. I mean, starting in the third quarter, that changed the game. 160, including passing.
Yeah, including passing. Yeah, like what a well-deserved guy to have MVP. Like, hasn't really been the star of the Seahawks until Charbonnet went down, and we've been chiming for this for years. Hawks fans, like, give Ken Walker the ball. He's so freaking good. And they kind of do the committee thing with Charbonnet. And I think it's maybe a blessing in disguise. Like, obviously sucks Charbonnet got hurt, but they finally got to make Walker
even the announcers were saying, Walker, the guy can't catch a pass. The guy can't pick up a block, but he can run. And he can run. And it's beautiful. And that patient running style. They can't.
Oh, it's so patient.
But it's beautiful, right? He's just stuttering, go. And he'd break ankles when he had to. He just changed directions, take the angle. For me, that was the most impressive part of the game, is how he worked with his offensive line in front of him to trust them, to wait until because there's a lot of 2-gapping going on with that New England in the interior. And the second a guy committed, he was gone. And is
he
the one whose dad never watched him in a game? And that was his dad's first game? No, that wasn't him? Okay, I wasn't sure.
No, like it was him. It was him. Like, his dad had never seen him play a game before.
Live,
until
right?
the Super Bowl. Yeah, until the Super Bowl.
And he knew his dad?
No, his dad came to the Super Bowl. His dad, I guess his dad has an issue with crowds. His dad has an issue with crowds.
Oh, issue with crowds.
So he never went to one of his games. And this was the first live game he went to, and he goes and blows up and wins the MVP. That's pretty cool. As much as I am for feel-good stories, and I tend to gravitate towards them, and I really enjoy, and I like when a guy like Darnold wins. I like when Seahawks I love that redemption story. On the flip side, man, when someone does something stupid or acts stupidly, I really have a hard time even pulling them for a bit. And I think I've told you, Cozy, I did not pick the Patriots. I think, I think first of all, I picked Seattle last week. I'm pretty sure I did, but I don't even remember what I ate for breakfast. But I'm pretty sure I picked Seattle. But I loved the Patriots growing up. I was a Bledsoe fan, a Brady fan. I loved them. But when I saw Mac Hollins show up to the game barefoot, his nurse outfit, that stupidity that he does every week, I'm like, these idiots need to lose. Like, if you have tolerance for that type of selfishness, for me, it's selfish. It's everybody's got to look at me.
The biggest game of the year, the biggest game of your career. I got to make sure that 5 hours before the game, camera's on me.
It's one
now
thing
he has done that all
nice.
year long. Right?
Yeah, he did all year long. It's one thing to dress nice, but come on. Do you think that would have even lasted in the Bill Belichick locker room? I don't think so.
No. Yeah,
he gone. Like, and so the minute I saw that, I was like, I hope they get their asses kicked. Oh man, and then the Warriors. Like,
I had to include that in the video. So
no, I know it's so dumb. It's so dumb. Yeah, not a fan of the ultimate team game, and guys show up consistently in the me attitude. I just never been a fan of that. And when I see it on display like that, I just can't get behind it. I don't care how much it spells your confidence. It's your pregame prep. You know, Sheldon, we've had guys like that. It really is me.
Yeah. And you feel it. And you know what? When you're winning, you don't feel it so much and you don't mind. But the second that you put that spotlight on yourself, you also put a target on your back when you don't perform. And everybody else is, right? And that's I'm not saying he didn't perform, but
he got
he
catches for 12,
yeah, he
catches 12
he was
yards.
locked up all day.
He got the one touchdown. Good for him.
Yeah.
But after that, I mean, when he was open, I mean, Drake May overthrew him a couple of times.
Yeah, Drake May did overthrow him a few times. Drake May was terrible.
He
had the worst.
Terrible.
He had the worst playoffs.
Watch him though. This can help a young player because this is gonna burn in him for the next 6 months.
I don't think he's not a good player or a good person, but he was terrible these playoffs, and he had a cakewalk of a schedule. And I tried to tell y'all this whole time. He was just terrible.
Let's play hypothetical before we get to the poem. If Denver Broncos had a healthy Bo Nix and they wind up in the Super Bowl, different result, maybe, possibly, or no?
No. Seattle was the best team in the league.
Okay, if Buffalo made it in like Chevy picks a couple of weeks ago, would it have been a different game?
You also definitely
might have been a different game.
You definitely picked New England last week, but you picked Seattle at the start of the playoffs, so you kind of went against yourself.
Who me?
Chevy did.
Yeah.
Did I pick New England last week?
Yeah, you were like, oh, I want the underdog story. I'm going with the Pats, but like 3 weeks earlier, you picked Seattle to win.
No, I thought I picked the Seahawks last week.
Well,
I cover all my bases.
Last week.
Clearly.
Let's ask this question. Next year, 2026, new season. Are the Seahawks the odds-on favorite to repeat?
Are they going to make the playoffs?
They have
weird
the
things
most
happen in the NFL.
They have the most third most cap space in the league. They have to pay JSN and Witherspoon, so I'll go down a little bit. But they got all their picks, all their players are under contract. Really, they're not going to lose anybody, maybe outside of Shaheed.
Clearly we weren't worried about the Patriots coming out of the East or out of the AFC. Who are the Seahawks worried about next year? NFC opponent and AFC opponent.
Rams, probably Niners. I think that division isn't going anywhere anytime soon. And then the other side of the ball, I think it'll be interesting because this was like the first time in feels like 10 years we haven't seen the Ravens and the Chiefs. I mean, the Bills kind of got a tough go. So I'm sure like all those teams will be back next year. It'll be interesting to see how they kind of compare.
The Bills got billed. I mean, we know that's what happens to them every year. Come on. Well, listen, let's cut away from the football talk. We'll get to the poem, and then we're going to have to get to probably what was the talk of Super Bowl Sunday, more so even, I would say, than the victory is the halftime show, all the drama heading in, the show itself, and a little bit of the aftermath. Let's hit that poem, Trey. Let's get that rolling.
And now, 300-pound poetry with Chevy and Nasty.
Tuesday Night Ride. There's so much for us to rhyme because you're 300-pound poets. We always make the time.
For you, loyal listeners, no matter the situation, we come to you live. You are the Ride Nation.
A dream come true, a 10-year curse lifted. Trey's Seahawks win, a Super Bowl gifted.
But admittedly, it was a boring game, if we are being honest, and not funny. The most interesting thing were the human trees and Bad Bunny.
Whatever you think of the show, for Chevy, it was working. The music, the celebration, but for me, it was the Latinas twerking.
We have lots to chew on here on The Ride. With football now ended, we turn to our Canadian Olympic pride. We should turn to our Canadian Olympic pride, but
just for you, I'm wearing my red tonight.
Yeah, we got a good night tonight.
My full-on Canadian pride's going on here for you tonight.
Well, before we get to that, we'll talk about halftime, and we got lots. First of all, guys, looking at the headlines for tonight's show, like you can go. We could have a 3-hour show, but tonight we do have special guests. For those of you that didn't see our little thumbnail on our production and just join us live. We got Daryl McAvina going to join us. We're going to catch up with him. He went to Portugal the last time we saw him. We'll talk a little bit about that. We got father-son movie night coming up March 30th. We'll talk about that. He's sponsoring a Canadian Olympic bobsled athlete, and we'll talk a little bit about that and how that came to be. So that's the second segment. Third segment, so much news, from Olympic news to football news. I don't know how many football athletes wound up in the police blotter this week, Sheldon. There's a lot, so much going on. We'll try to get to it all as we usually do, but before we get to all of that stuff, we can't wrap up the talk on the Super Bowl without talking about the halftime show.
Yeah.
Sheldon, it was the talk of the world going into it. More so than the game. A lot of I don't know if it's controversy with the pick of Bad Bunny to host the Super Bowl match. There was a lot going on. There were people upset with it. There are people that loved it. There are people that were indifferent. Where did you fall on this, and why?
I'm going to preface it by saying this: the Super Bowl show was not for me. Right? It wasn't like the NFL committee was sitting there saying, "Okay, we're going to give the fans what they want." And I'm sorry if anybody tells me that they're a hardcore NFL fan and they said, "Oh my God, is Bad Bunny that I wanted to see?" I know you're already lying to me and you're trying to look a certain way. But that said, I'm also a very open-minded guy.
Wait, what you're saying is the typical NFL fan would not like Bad Bunny? You're saying like you represent the typical NFL fan?
Okay. Let's get Trey back on here. Chev, name me 3 Bad Bunny songs.
I don't know any of them. I'm asking you.
Name me 3 Bad Bunny songs.
I'm asking you the question.
That's
Then get out of here. You just proved my point. Thank you. Nobody that is a conventional NFL fan is a fan of Bad Bunny, knows anything about his music. But what Bad Bunny is and what he represents is this massive curiosity, this massive brand, this massive product that has taken over the world. There's no doubt about it that the NFL did not make the halftime show for me. Right. I would have rather seen 65-year-old Metallica get up on stage and put on a show, pound out some of their hits, get my heart racing. But I know that this show was not about us, and I don't blame people for being offended for it. I get it. That said, if I'm trying to grow the NFL brand bigger than Taylor Swift, if I want to reach all those markets out there down south, because there's a whole other continent south of us, and to reach different parts of the world, Bad Bunny was a great pick.
It probably was the best choice in terms of global reach. They had the most viewers of all time. 135 million people tuned in to watch the halftime show.
Yeah, no, and I agree
tuned in to watch the game.
Yeah.
Or was that the halftime numbers?
No, that was the halftime numbers. 135 million people watched the halftime show. It's crazy.
And Sheldon, I'll agree with some of what you're saying. Like, I agree. They're probably not catering to me. I know what I like in music. Like, what I really like, I like country music. I like rock music. Last year when the NFL picked Kendrick Lamar, they weren't catering to me or my tastes. When they picked The Weeknd, they weren't catering to me or my tastes.
I was excited about The Weeknd. I love The Weeknd.
Maybe only because
it was not the best show. It was kind of cool, right? That's all I could say about that. It was cool.
I don't even know if that was kind of cool. Like, and so for me, being a football fan, what I am, and I don't know if the typical football fan, and the reason I asked you that question is not because I was like getting upset or anything. It's like, for me, I do have a genuine curiosity. I said it way back when they announced him. I said, I know nothing about Bad Bunny. I don't know anything. I don't know if this is a good pick. If it's a bad pick, I ask my kids, they're like, Dad, this guy's the biggest guy in the world. Like, for me, at the time when they picked him, I thought the biggest artist in the world was Taylor Swift. For me, I was like, if you're going to make that move that pick the biggest artist of our time, pick Taylor Swift.
Which also a year ago would have been controversial.
And you know what? A year ago, right after the Super Bowl, when I saw Kendrick Lamar, the first thing I said is, man, I wish Miley Cyrus would be the halftime show with maybe a Metallica cross-in or something. Like, I like that type of entertainment. Now, that being said, what I didn't like, because again, I don't know why people have to be offended. Like, it's one thing to say, well, you don't know it. It's that type of music is not your cup of tea, but say it after you listen to it. Too many people I heard is like, I'm going to say too many people said they're not going to listen to it based on the principle that it wasn't what they liked. And for me, I know halfway through the season, I went on Spotify, said, I don't know who this guy is. I don't know what his music is. I searched in Bad Bunny.
Chevy, I'm going to call BS on you one more time. I'm going to call BS again.
I'll call BS back.
You are sitting there at a panel of all the developers of your favorite comic book franchise and movie franchise. And for years, they've been giving you what you want. You're excited. Hit after hit after hit.
But
and
they
all
haven't.
of a sudden, they come up with, for the next 10 years, we're converting all your favorite characters to kangaroos that speak French, and you're going to read it in Korean subtitles. And you're going to tell me that you're excited and proud, and you're like, I am so happy with the direction that this franchise I love so much is taking me. Is that what you're going to say, or are you going to feel disrespected? It's okay to feel disrespected, but it's also okay to watch it with an open mind and saying, you know what, those people in the freaking grass costumes were kind of cool. Watching guys go up the telephone poles. That was kind of different. I like that.
I don't understand. I just don't understand why it's so serious that people have to be offended. Like
Chevy, if they change, if Marvel changed the direction that Marvel was going for the next 10, 20 years, you would be, or Star Wars.
Sheldon, I'm more offended that the NFL has a shitty kickoff than I am about any artist. In fact, I hated Kendrick Lamar's performance, except that one song that I thought, it's okay. But it was not for me. I gave it a chance. I listened to Kendrick Lamar. I listened to some of his music afterward. I was a little bit more open-minded to his music because of the Super Bowl. Am I a Kendrick Lamar fan? No. Will I listen to it? No. 7 years ago, whenever it was, there Katy Perry showed up in a freaking shark costume. That was stupid. But
so was Lady Gaga. What the hell did Lady Gaga have to do with that show?
Nothing offends me more because the product that I'm there priority to see is the football game. The fact that the game was boring was more offensive to me than whoever they put in the halftime. 2 years ago, Usher. You pick Usher. Usher would be the equivalent of putting Kid Rock on the stage. Yeah. He was popular. By the way,
I watched both.
I watched it too.
They're both horrible in terms of music quality. It didn't work for me either one.
Yeah,
production value. Gotta give
Turning Point USA. Turning Point USA was exactly what I thought it was. I thought Lee Bryce was okay. Garrett, what's his name? I thought he was okay.
I don't know those guys either.
I have an open mind. I like some of those acts, but it was very much what I thought it was going to be. It was America, fuck yeah, and it's like great. If Toby Keith was alive, he would have been there and given a big F.
That would have been better.
That would have been better for sure.
But that's as Trey said, as you said, that's not where the NFL's money. Once the quality of the game suffers, which I think it's pretty bad. Like that kickoff is shitty. You have all these guys line up. Why have it in the game? It's stupid. It's actually a stupid part of the game. Yet they haven't lost any money because the game sucks. Their quarterbacks get blown on and they throw flags, and it changes the outcomes of games. They get the refereeing calls wrong. That's why the Bills are sitting at home, and people still go to the games. You still spend the money. Your avatar spends money. Trey still spends the money. They don't care about the fans they already have. So picking Bad Bunny is a stroke of genius because, as Trey said, 128 million people showed up to watch Bad Bunny, and his fans probably of the ilk that football is of a different sport with a white and black ball, and this got them watching a game. And it's too bad that the game sucked so bad that they probably would have converted more fans. That being said, I'd like to see a different act next year. I was okay. Like, I don't want to see K-pop next year. I hope they don't go that way. I hope they go get some country band that I like. But, there's a lot of static. There was a lot of static going in. A lot of Americans don't know that Puerto Rico is an American state or an American territory. A lot of people thought, making some really ignorant statements that make their own country sound ignorant about themselves.
It's not a state. It's not the same as a state, but yeah.
There were a lot of non-Americans that performed at the Super Bowl. You talk about U2. You talk about The Weeknd, The Who, Shakira, Rihanna. All non-Americans performing the American game.
Yeah, but okay, they also all sang in English, and there were massive followings among NFL fans.
They definitely alienated like
100%. I reject
half, maybe more of their fans by doing this. But
Okay,
it doesn't.
I'll
it's still
there's
genius.
of the 135 million people that watched it, I will poll them, and I'm going to assume there was less than 20 million that understood a word that was said, and probably
I didn't understand a word.
100 million that could name a song.
You know, I will say this too, and I know they weren't in Mexico and they weren't in the Caribbean nation, but when I'm in Mexico, I listen to that music all the time, or that sounds like, I don't even know if it's the same music.
I'm going to apologize to Daryl for keeping him late.
It kind of has that same vibe. I don't know the words there too, but it sure is a vibe. And I thought if we focus on his show and the positives of the show, there was a vibe. There were some special guests. Lady Gaga was there. Ricky Martin was there, as we mentioned
and a marriage. There was a legit
marriage. There was a twerking Latina ladies. The set was wonderful. I thought it had a lot of value in the show, at least from the TV perspective, because apparently if you're in the stadium,
it was not for the people paying thousands of dollars for the seats either. Yeah, but there's a big screen to watch it. So
yeah, and again, at one point in the game, they showed international audiences filling stadiums watching the game, and they got to see that. So, so guys, what you're telling me is if the CFL decided to have Les Cowboys Frignants host the Grey Cup halftime show, you're going to be upset, right? You're going to be offended.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
Yeah, that would be the worst decision the CFL could ever do.
Or Les Colocs. What about Corey Hart? Because he's French.
Corey Hart is still, that's like bringing back Trooper though, like they did back in the 90s, right? Like I think his day's probably past it. I don't think you can bring back Bryan Adams. I don't think that's what people are looking for, right?
No, but so I guess, yeah. And I get the perspective that if it was just an American event, maybe, but the NFL has grown so much in the last, that, when you said that span where they were pumping out all music for us. Well, they've grown so much since then. I mean, how many games are international? Where do you think the next markets are? The next markets for the NFL are in Asia.
Rome had to ask the same questions, and they kept expanding their borders until the people back home that supported Rome got bored.
Yeah, well,
and what happened to Rome, Chevy? It's going to be the NFL. It might take another 1,000 years, but the NFL will fall because of the decisions that they made.
In 1,000 years, they won't even be hitting each other anymore. It won't look like football. And that's when it's going to fall.
Flag football. Yeah.
Flag football is going to take over. But all in all, I know you didn't like it. I liked it.
No, I was fine with it. It was a good show.
I liked the show more than the game.
Kid Rock show, which I also watched. Yeah. He did not convert me to be a fan.
No.
Yeah.
And I get it why it was a big screw you to people that wanted to hear music in what's that language that we all like to speak so much? English.
Yeah.
Right.
And you know what? I'll agree with you. I disagreed with you on some things. I'll agree with you. I'm not a fan of Bad Bunny. You know what? As a lyricist and singer, not a big fan, but I saw him on Happy Gilmore Part 2. Funny dude. He was in wrestling because of his halftime appearance. I watched a lot of his wrestling appearances in WWE in the last.
His story's amazing.
He's an entertainer.
And he's an entrepreneur. He started building his brand when he was a teenager in Puerto Rico.
Hey, bagging groceries.
He's bagging groceries. He's on SNL too once in a while.
Yeah,
he's quite a funny guy. I have nothing against Bad Bunny, but
he definitely got caught up in a political furor that's kind of reflecting the world.
He kept the politics out of the show for the most part, which was amazing. So. And I good on him. I think if there's one thing I've gained respect for Bad Bunny and his production team. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And I'll tell you one more last thing. I understood his show a little bit more than Kendrick Lamar's last year because he was speaking English and I couldn't understand half of what was going on in that show.
Well, I got married once. That was kind of relatable, and I haven't changed out a telephone pole, but that was also kind of cool. But yeah. All right, guys. Well, there you go. That was Chevy's a big Bad Bunny fan now. Big time. Trey and I appreciated the show. Not our cup of tea. No. Guys, thanks so much for bearing with us this long on that, but I think it was worth the conversation. I enjoyed it.
How did we go so long?
When we come back, we've got Daryl waiting for us in the other room to talk about his trip to Portugal, his sponsorship of a Canadian bobsledder, as well as an upcoming movie night in Cochrane. And you guys know, we're all excited about that one. So stick around, grab a treat, and we'll see you here on the other side.
Breaking news, a new head coach in the NFL. Seahawks expected to hire Ravens defensive coordinator Mike Macdonald.
Exciting day. Welcome to Mike Macdonald Day.
We're trying to build something special. Our players here and the players that will be able to coach, I hope you understand that you're the driving force behind everything that we do. And I can guarantee you this, you will get everything out of myself and our coaching staff every day. This is a position we don't want to be in ever again. So it's way clearer on understanding what we need to do day in, day out, what it's going to take to be a championship football team.
We're going to build off of this. Okay, like EJ said, we're going to be back. Okay? We're going to be freaking back. Yeah, look, we won this game because of what we did in the offseason, man. We understand and we believe and we know what we're capable of. That's 3 wins in 11 days. But that is us. That is Seahawk football, man. We have each other's backs at all times, no flinch, decisive, shocking, relentless. When you score 44 points, okay, and you win game by 21 points, man, that's a freaking great job. We just won an NFL football game. It's all about us all the time. All we got to do is just go to the next play and figure out a way to win. What a group, man. What a freaking football team you guys are. We never blink. You play the next play. Man, we have gotten here through our mentality of every freaking day. Hey, man, same time next week, you are NFC champions! Congratulations, NFC champs. I love you guys. I had 100% confidence. We got the best teams. 12 is 1, mob ties. We got the best fans in the world, 12s. Look how many 12s are in this stadium right now. We never wavered, man. We believed in each other. We loved each other. And now we're world champions.
Performance Freight Management is a global logistic freight shipping company that will handle the entire shipping process for any package to any country. Whether it be a simple truck shipment from your office to Toronto or your company importing generators from China, PFM Freight handles it all. We have the expertise and technology to handle any shipping requirements. Skip the guesswork and let us take the shipping pain off your plate.
Experience our new fundraising event, Ignite the Night YYC, this November when we bring the fire hall to the Big 4 Roadhouse. Featuring a firefighter challenge, live entertainment, and fabulous food and drink. Tickets and sponsorship opportunities available now. Support the Calgary Firefighters Burn Treatment Society. Ignite the Night YYC this November. Help us help those who have experienced a life-changing burn injury.
Welcome back, everybody.
I think Trey was like a little shell shocked from our debate there because he put up the wrong commercial.
Yeah.
Sorry, wrong commercial there. Sorry, guys.
He's like the little kid that gets scared when the parents are fighting. me and
my wife just gave me crap, Chev. I think she wants me to apologize to you. She said I came down a little hard on you. I accused you of being preachy, but I think I was being a little preachy to you.
You didn't put your. Well, I would think I was being preachy to you because you know what?
I don't think I said it. I don't think I said it enough. just how much I disagreed with you on your take, but
and I don't think I said enough how much I disagreed with you, because I don't understand getting offended over something that doesn't affect
I wasn't offended. I don't understand somebody saying, "Oh, I'm his new biggest fan," when you can't name a song. Anyway, we're gonna I'll give
this
you
my parents are fighting. My parents are fighting. I'm throwing a fit in the back seats.
All right,
this is the real heated rivalry, not the TV show.
You don't even know. Chevy's going to bring this up like 3 years down the road. We're going to be stopped at a traffic lights on our way to get a Firehouse sub. And no, I'm just kidding. Hey, I'm going to take a bit of a selfish second here. Excuse me. We missed a birthday there at the beginning of the first segment. My father-in-law, Ernie Regas, who's also here tonight watching the show. It's his birthday tomorrow. Whoa. And Ernie, I just want to say happy birthday. I love you, man. I know this is an hour later in your time zone, but you're here every week, and I really appreciate you, brother.
I got to tell you, Sheldon, I got to ask you this. This is a little bit off topic. We get Daryl on. I don't know if it's his birthday coming up soon, but we got Bruno's birthday. We have Ernie's birthday. Happy birthday. We had our good buddy Craig Hannum's birthday. I look on Facebook today to see there's like a lot of birthdays this week. What was going on? What event was going on 9 months ago that precipitated this boom in February? Like, there's a lot. It was my dad's birthday was a couple of days ago, like my, God rest his soul. My Brittany's mom's birthday, my buddy Ryan's birthday, like a lot of birthdays this week. Something's going on.
May, June, buddy. It's May, June. Is 9 months ago. It's May, June. The weather is turning nice and warm.
Humans get fertile.
Bunnies are bouncing around.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, listen, let's take no more time. We got him waiting long enough. Guys, you know him as Daryl McAvina. Great guy. He's our friend. He sponsors our show. So much goodwill within the community. Started the mental health movement a couple of years ago when we got that first men's mental health movie night going. When we got this ride as it currently sits, we got introduced to Trey and the whole gang got together. He's got some great stuff coming up. We want to talk about his trip to Portugal. Last time we saw him, he was just about to head out there. Daryl, welcome to the ride.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Yeah, great to see you, man. So, Daryl, if you could just center yourself up just a little bit so we can get you in the middle, because we're also live.
Yeah,
there you go. We're live on Instagram.
Keep going.
Keep going the way you are.
Other way.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Yeah, we're also live on Instagram, so we want to make sure people can see your face. So last time we met you, Daryl, or we talked with you, you were off to Portugal. You were going on a nice, I believe it was a 10-day horseback ride against on the Camino with Felipe. Tell us a little bit about the adventure. Was it one of these life-changing experiences when you come back, you're just like, my goodness, everyone has to do that? Give us the highlights.
Yeah, it was by far probably one of the best experiences of my life. I mean, just being in Portugal and Spain on horseback, I mean, you can make a lot of miles. You can see a lot of people, see a lot of architecture. You can see, different landscape. It was incredible. And I mean, there was a lot of people on the trail from all around the world. And I think the most epic moments we had was Felipe's a journalist by trade. So he wanted to interview as many people as he could along the way. So we were interviewing people, and we met people from every part of the world that were on this El Camino trail for different reasons. We would ask them where they were from, what their purpose was. Some was spiritual, some was just finding themselves, trying to find a purpose. And that was pretty incredible because everyone had a different reason for being there. But the cool part was we were all there. So it was pretty amazing to be a part of that. And I think doing it on horseback, it's one of my favorite things to do. And it definitely was spiritual for me. I mean, it was when I got to so we went from Portugal to Spain. It took us six full days, 30 plus kilometers a day, anywhere from 5 to 8 hours a day of riding. High terrain, low terrain. We were in cities, we were in little towns, little villages. We were by pilgrimages, and we went through all these different communities. But I think the biggest highlight was our last day. They shut down the El Camino Santiago Cathedral right in Santiago, and that's where the church is, and where King Stephen was laid to rest there. But they shut this whole cathedral down, the whole compound. And so we arrived at 7 a.m. It was dark. We got to get pictures, and it's probably like a 5-acre lot. And 2.5 hours later, there was over 100,000 people there.
Wow.
It tells you how many people come to this, but it tells you how big this facility is. And for us to have the VIP access to just ride,
unbelievable,
was pretty epic.
That's like having Machu Picchu to yourself for 3 hours to just contemplate what it means.
Oh, it's incredible.
So I got a chance to talk to you before you went, and I had a lot of questions for you about picking the horse, building the relationship with the horse, building a trust with the horse. You just said it was a 6-7 day ride?
Yes.
What was that like? How did you make out? Were you able to, through the spiritual journey, you're trying yourself, you're connecting with God, you're one with nature the whole time. Were you at one with your horse? How did that go?
Oh, it was incredible. So I had this little horse. So short story, probably be long, but me and Felipe were all waiting for our horses, and we kind of sensed that when you throw your sticks in the middle,
yeah,
hockey, we were kind of guessing that we were going to be the last guys to get the sticks chosen, and that meant we were going to get the crappy horses. And so sure enough, Jesus, who runs the tour that goes along the El Camino and opens up all the gaps and closes the certain locations that we go to, he goes, I got a couple of good horses for you boys. So I get this little tiny Arabian that's just turning 3 years old, and he's about as big as me.
Like a male?
Yeah, he's a male. Yeah, little Duke. And so he said, I know you guys can ride. You'll do me a favor. And sure enough, they were pretty young, but it only took me about, I would say, maybe an hour to figure out what his goal was. He just wanted to run. Yeah. So I just made sure I gave him opportunities to run, gallop, get him into that high speed feeling. And once I got his adrenaline reached, then I would slow him back down, gather him back up. And then he would listen to everything I asked him to do. He was incredible. Like, it's too bad you can't see some of the videos, but some of these videos of him and I racing through the town, and it was incredible. He just responded so well. But yeah, we had a really good spiritual connection. He was connected at my hip after that.
Like he was probably doing the same thing. I'm going to be the last guy in here. It's like throwing sticks in the middle. I'm going to get some jerk cowboy that's never been on a horse for more than a trail ride before. So I'm glad that worked out. Hey, what of our guys writes in? Cozy writes in, did you try the Pastel de Nata? I don't know what that is. Was that along the way, or is that a totally different ride?
No, I don't even know what that is, but maybe Cozy can tell us.
I thought it might be food. I was thinking
food. Yeah.
Was there some great food along the way? Because we love food stories. Any good food stories from Portugal?
So I don't know. You guys know me a little bit, but I don't take a whole lot of chances. I don't like seafood unless I'm by the ocean. But the seafood didn't sit well with me, and so I turned to the beef. And we had a bit of a challenge with the beef. The beef was really good, but Felipe was speaking in all 3 languages over there. And every time I would say "well done," because the beef was like, they don't do blue, they do some other color. Like it's they just barely put it on.
Yeah.
So every time I got my steak,
purple,
it was like it was disgusting. And Felipe would be having this battle in the background in Portuguese or Spanish or whatever they were speaking at the moment. And he finally said, I give up. They just won't cook it any longer. So yeah, it was the food. The food wasn't the greatest, but I would say Portugal, you gotta go. It is the most beautiful place. The people there, the customer service is incredible. The view, the seaway, it's unbelievable. Like, yeah, and I couldn't believe the people that were there from all around the world. Like, I didn't realize what a tourist location this was and retirement location. It was incredible.
Yes, I heard about that. I heard about the retirement location.
Were you exaggerating when you said, like, when they opened it up, there's 100,000 people there? Like, in context, how many people were there? Like,
I'm not exaggerating. No, we were standing in a line that was to get into the church. So we were trying to go to the church service. We were standing in a line, and it zigzagged through that whole compound. And we stood in that line for an hour and a half. We didn't even get in. And there was also forgive me, but I can't remember what, there was a protest going on. So one of the countries, I can't remember which one it was, but they were doing the protest at the same time as everybody was trying to get to church. So everybody was celebrating, and yeah, there was a lot of people there. They had police there and everything. It was crazy.
Wow. That's crazy. Well, Daryl, we love that you go on these adventures and you go on many travels. We know you got one coming up, but in between travels, you find time to sponsor all kinds of events, work on all kinds of things, not just running your business, but, you know, we talked about the mental health movement. We're going to talk a little bit about the event coming up, but it's Olympics. You know, we put Super Bowl to rest, football is to rest for a few months. For the next couple of weeks, it's all Canada Pride. And you have a special connection to this Olympics in the form of a local bobsledder. Can you tell us a little bit about Bianca Ribby and your relationship and how you come to be sponsoring her ride to the Olympics?
Yeah, so a good friend of mine, Tibby Ribby, he played some football back in the day, and him and I have journeyed through, we met him through church, and then we met him through, he used to be part of, he still is part of Leaders Impact, and yeah, he was a good friend of mine. We were in some business groups together, and his daughter at the time when I first met him was playing soccer at Dartmouth, and she was an Ivy League, soccer player. I helped her move back to Canada after she graduated. Soccer career kind of was coming to an end. Wasn't sure what was going on. And through that transition, I was talking to Tibby, and he just said that Bianca wasn't sure what she wanted to do. She didn't want to stop. And she, anyways, got a tryout for the bobsled team and made it. And in that first year, made the World Cup tour. And I was just kind of following. And through that whole journey, I discovered that, it was interesting because our government support wasn't 100%. And it didn't look like, she had to work all the time to support herself, pay for a lot of her travel. And there was just a lot of adversity just financially trying to, deal with that. So I got to meet her a few times. I actually went to a sponsorship event she put on. She asked me to bring some people. So we went to the ice house and brought my son Lincoln and Amanda, my father-in-law. We got to do it. She showed us how to do a run. So that was pretty fun. Nice. And so that was pretty impressive. And, she was a really good speaker. She was very passionate. You could tell that, she had gold in her eyes. She was shooting for one thing and it was gold. And you could tell that she just wanted to win a medal or at least get to the Olympics. And it wasn't about funding or money, but that was just something she had to do. And, her story is so long. We're going to try and talk to her here in the next week or so before she runs and get an interview. She'll tell us all the adversity because there's so many that it's a movie. Like she's running.
Well, I can imagine, Daryl, because I mean the funding woes don't just plague bobsledding. I think all amateur sports across Canada, deal with that. I think the only one that really is a little bit immune to funding issues seems to be hockey. Hockey Canada, well funded, well run. Hockey is king in Canada, and it's reflected in terms of the support those athletes get. But once the dropout, it's not like the United States where it seems like the national pride.
They value greatness.
They value greatness, and it's and many of the great nations and empires throughout time measure greatness not just through the size of their armies and the size of their cities and the size of their economies, but the greatness of their athletes. And we only measure it in the greatness of hockey. Like our whole identity is if we do well in hockey, we're good. Second best, I would say, is if we get enough medals in Winter Olympics in general, we're good, but we don't really shoot for that greatness. I know there was the Own the Podium program, but when it comes to funding, it's tough. And I had a little cup of coffee with Bobsled Canada. I knew that it would be tough in terms of securing any types of funding. So what is that you did specifically to help Bianca so she could, have a reasonable shot of that gold that she's looking for?
Yeah. So Tibby, he was at our men's mental health event last May. So he had Leader Impact booth. And just after that, we were chatting a little bit and he said, Bianca's making a good run. Like she's doing really good. And we help Performance Freight Management help, fund her a little bit to get through the year. And then we decided at one point in the fall that she got demoted. So she went to the minor leagues, and it wasn't really because of her skill level, but it's just the way it goes, right? So she had to go through some adversity, and I just started hearing that storyline. So what I had to do is really, I got some people together near the end of her North American run. And because what she was finding out is her equipment was horrible.
Yeah.
And don't quote me on all the information, but her equipment, she was running the best she could, but she was still going slow, and she was beating the starts and the run and the turns, and all those times she was fast, but the equipment, the sled just wasn't doing it. So we helped her out. She came and seen me probably 4 or 5 weeks ago, and just wanted to sit down, and she was very gracious just to thank us for helping her out. And I said, what do you need now that you've qualified for the Olympics? What's going to make it for you? And she says, I'm just happy. My goal was to make it to the Olympics. That's what I wanted to do. And I've done that. If I had to say I needed something, it's the equipment. I just need some equipment. I need some runners, which are the skates underneath the sled. Yeah. I need a new sled. She said, I borrowed a sled from the United States team in Lake Placid, and I had some fast times. And yeah, there's the picture there. So I said, okay, well, let's find you a sled and let's get you some runners. So I said, I'll get some people together. We'll raise some money. I said, how much do you need? And she goes, well, I probably need about 24,000. I said, okay, well, I'll gather my group of people. I'll get the network, because that's what the mental health network's all about too. We just get people together, right? And so I got a bunch of people together. And not even like 2 weeks later, we got some funding. So we raised close to 23,000, and probably still coming in. And I said to her, do your best, but I wouldn't try and do all the work finding the sled. Talk to a liaison with Team Canada and see what they can do for you, because maybe they have connections. As far as I know, the last I heard from her, she did all the work and she found that sled. And it's a Romanian sled. And guess what she has to do with that sled? You see the color of it?
Yeah, she has to paint it.
She has to put all the wrap on it herself.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So she's like, I'm going to be YouTubing and learning how to change this yellow and orange sled.
Canada.
Team Canada.
I'll tell you what. It's a beautiful story because it does show the Canadian spirit, and I think largely the Alberta spirit. Mm-hmm. This is a kid from our city that needs some help, and I love the way that you reached the network out. It's sad to think though that we can't even get that sled wrap for her.
Yeah,
that's mind-boggling, Daryl.
Yeah, again, that's just the reason I tried to get as many people together. And there's some people out there like Dallas Christ in the Christ Foundation that donated from Game Day. You guys know Game Day. Dallas is a great friend of mine and does amazing work. He jumped in. Ben Mormon from New Creations, he jumped in, and actually Shelly Smith and Chad Smith, Trey's mom and dad, they jumped in.
Right on.
And I jumped in as well, and then there was some small donations along the way there, but it was just a good opportunity to jump in, and somebody that's got a dream, and the only thing that's holding them back is the thing they got to run 100 miles an hour down the track. That's a problem.
So what was your reaction like when you pulled that off? Like when your team pulled it off, when the funding came together and it's like, here, honey, pick your sled. Because I'm picturing her like my daughter right now at this point. What was the I wonder?
Yeah, ironically, she was already so we talked about it the day after. Well, she came to see me the day before anybody knew she got selected. So they told her that they had a private meeting. They told her she was going to the Olympics. We discussed that. Then 2 days later, she had to get on a plane to go to Italy. So I haven't seen her. I've been just texting her and sent me a picture of the thing and just said, just some very gracious and kind words, without your support, you just appreciate it. And it was just my biggest, I think my biggest visual that made me happy was I watched the opening ceremonies just to see her, because I knew the happiest moment for her was getting to the opening ceremonies. And I haven't seen a smile like that in a long time. It was always determination, when I'd watch her runs or see her in person. But that was a pretty relieving, happy, joyful smile. So that made everybody's day, I bet, seeing her on TV.
And she's got to be so busy. And like, Chevy, could you imagine this? Like, okay, I fought to get there. I made it to, in your case, you went to the Shrine Game playing NCAA athletes. You made it to the NFL. And all of a sudden, you have to change everything. You've got new gear, a new helmet, new shoes. I don't even think that can compare to a new sled.
Yeah, no, for
like
sure
the amount
not.
of work that she's got to be putting in right now just to master that beast. She was world class on archaic old Canadian equipment, a borrowed 20-year-old sled from the Americans, and now she's got a state-of-the-art, cutting-edge sports car. This is like that movie Ford versus Ferrari, right? When they were first trying to, like when Ford was first trying to figure out how to race to make it to Le Mans or whatever course that was. What an amazing story!
Yeah, no, it's great. Yeah. Daryl, I was gonna say I don't often agree with Todd Kozak, but his quote there, "Good people," that applies to you and all the people that supported her to get there, and it also applies to Bianca. Not only is she an Olympic hero for how she's gotten there and what she's had to deal with, she's also a local hero. For those of you that don't know, she is a member of the Calgary Fire Department. She's a firefighter. Right. One of my colleagues recently got on, and even the whole fire department and the unions behind her pursuing her dream, because this could be a once in a lifetime thing for her. And we definitely wish her all the best, and hopefully you do get a chance to speak to her more than text, and maybe we'll get some comments for her in a couple of weeks. But Daryl, I want to shift gears now. March 30th, it's coming up quick. We were kind of waiting for a date. We knew it was coming. We referenced it before. We did our men's mental health movie night a few years ago. Then we did one again last year. This one coming up in the spring. Well, I guess it's spring. Yeah, March 30th is the spring. Is the father and son movie night. Still brought to you by the Performance Freight Management and Mental Health Movement. We're going to be featuring Top Gun as the movie, but more importantly, we've got some great speakers. Daryl, what can you tell us and the listeners and the watchers about the father-son movie night?
Yeah, it's a great opportunity to put something on, because the people asked, so we're going to give. We had lots of requests to do a father-son event. We did have lots of father and sons already attend. Obviously, in the older generation, and we had some great photography of it last year. It was just amazing to see some of the fathers and sons there. So we really wanted to get the younger youth in. And so we've been working on it behind the scenes. Of course, I've been working with Brett Gardner, and we had this plan that, I had this vision that if we could have a conversation between a son and a father. And he's like, well, Grady, my son, we've done some keynotes together he did one with 60 goaltenders in Sylvan Lake, I think it was. And it went amazing. And so that's one of the keys that kind of drove this, is that I wanted to show the perspective of the father and the son, and how they see the conversations, and just that mental health, discussion on trying to make sure that, we're open to talk to each other, but sometimes we hear different things. And so Brett's got a great perspective on how he's putting that together. So I'm pretty excited about that, and also to have Grady involved with it. And Grady's pretty excited as far as Brett says, he's ready to go. So that's excellent news. And then we've got Keon Raymond. So we've got some football involved as well still. So Keon and I have been talking for the last year, and my son's been in his big time player program, in the Nike program there. So we've been communicating. We had some great conversations, and he wanted to jump on and be a part of the mental health movement. So he's said he's helping whatever we need him to do. And we wanted to do something on the side of family, faith, and finance and community. He's going to talk a little bit about that on the mental health side of things. And so, pretty excited to have him. We know his energy. He's been on the show, on the ride. He had a great career. So we're pretty excited to have him on. So I feel that we were going to put it on this month, but I felt it was a little rushed because all our key players that do technical side of things and registration and all that weren't going to be around. So I just pushed it off to the end of March, and here we are.
So let me ask you, Daryl, why is it important to have a father-son movie night in this day and age? Why are we doing this? Why is it important?
Well, I believe right now, like, you know, we're still there, even at the younger age right now, the generations are having that stigma. Like, it's hard to talk to your dads, right? Our dads are tough. They're telling you to dust yourself off, get up, get back on the horse, put a Band-Aid on it, let's go. But, you know, I think it's so valuable for our kids to start understanding they can talk about their feelings and slow the conversation down. My 6-year-old, you know, we had a little conversation yesterday. Things weren't going so well in the household. He wasn't listening to dad, and you know, he got upset, and so he went and thought about it in his bedroom. And then about 20 minutes later, he came back and he said with mom there, he said, I want to talk about something about my feelings. And I said, okay. And so I gave him that space, and there's nothing else after that. It's all there was, right? He has the space to talk about it. Back in the day, meaning me and several other out there, we would have stayed in the room, woke up the next morning and dusted ourselves off and went back at it.
I think this is a whole other episode, a whole other segment. Yeah. But isn't that the number one change that we've seen in the last generation till now? I know some people will be critical of it or whatever, but every generation has this thing and every generation changes. Right now, I think as dads, it is more important than ever that our kids are no longer do what you're told. They really need to understand. They've got so much more information. They need to understand why just dust myself off. Why will this work? That sounds like you're just saying something that's cliche, and I don't know if I can trust that. The level of communication between a father and a son in this generation, I think, has been more challenging in a lot of ways, or it's definitely different than it has been in our relationships with our fathers, where, like you said, you just dust it off, keep your mouth shut, and just show up the next day and go to work.
Yep.
And from a father, and you're 100% right, Nancy, because from a father standpoint, I even did it tonight. My son's like, well, mommy's going to sleep with me tonight. Mommy's going to sleep with me. I said, no, I'll lay down with you and put you to bed. And then, but it's time for you to go night-night. And he's like, okay, but mommy's going to sleep with me. And I'm like, she doesn't need to hold your hand, bud. And then I'm like, oh, that's probably not a good thing to say. But I'm aware of it now, right? Where I wouldn't be aware of it. I'm not perfect. I'm far from perfect. But I think these type of events and being engaged in this type of activity makes you aware of what you're saying to a 6-year-old, 7-year-old, doesn't matter what age. This event is for 12 to 16 plus. So we're going to have 2 different age groups, but I think it's so valuable for the fathers to be aware of some of the things that we may be saying that are really affecting our kids. So.
My 14 and 18-year-old sons are coming to this event, and I can't wait. I love that we're not emceeing it this year too. So I just get to sit there and watch the speakers and talk to other dads and bring my kids to experience this. So great event. I love the direction you're taking this, and I'm excited to partake.
So let's make sure, Daryl, that we put the or Trey, that we put the poster up. We want to make sure March 30th. It begins at, it's really small here for me to see, 6 p.m. And there's so just kind of go through the little bit of the logistics very quickly before we let you go. March 30th, 6 p.m. at the Cochrane Movie House.
So there's 2 age groups. So 6 p.m. is for the 12 to 15-year-olds, and then 7 p.m. is for 16 plus. And it's at the Cochrane Movie House. We're going to have the same kind of setup as last time, but 6 o'clock for the young ones and 7 o'clock for the older ones. They'll have a little networking area, some games, get to know each other, get to meet some of the people like some of you guys and some of the, the keynote speakers. And then we'll eat, and then we'll transfer into the theater for a short keynote event. And then we'll carry on with the movie with popcorn and pop. It's all free. But just a reminder that we will be, providing a donation to probably the Ty Posabon Foundation. We haven't committed yet, but we'll have one by the 30th. And the best thing is it doesn't mean if you're a father and you don't have your sons with you, or they can't make it, or you're a father that just wants to come. It doesn't mean that we're just saying it's father and sons. And if you have, and that's why we put sons. If you got 3 kids, bring them. If your kids are older and they just want to bring the boys, that's why we called it Boys Night Out. Bring the boys. It doesn't have to be the father either, but we'd love to have the fathers and sons together if possible. But the night is open either way. And we do have a premium sponsor, McIntyre Group, that out of the blue just gave us money and said, hey, whatever you guys do next, here's some money. And the same with the firefighters pensioner program. They gave us some money as well. So just a shout out to those guys that really believe in this stuff.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad those hookups come to fruition. We got a great network, like you said. Sometimes even just introducing people is a great way to contribute to what we're doing. Just quickly, I know Trey has the RSVP email flashing below the screen, but if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere you get your favorite podcast, to RSVP to the event this year, we don't have an Eventbrite. We want you to email Daryl, DARYL @pfm.com. Send him an email. You get a personal reply from Daryl. He's managing all the replies, so get to him as quick as you can. I think we already have about 20 or 30 people registered. We have capacity for about 180, and it's going to be a great night. As Sheldon is happy, he doesn't have to MC. I'm happy I don't have to run back to Calgary to coach a football game that night. So I'm looking very much forward to finishing my workday and heading out to Cochrane to hang out with you guys and help out however I can. It's going to be a great night, Daryl.
Just a quick note. It's Daryl at pfmfreight.com.
Oh, okay. I was reading it off the screen.
No, you're right. That's what it says. But yeah, so Daryl at
pfmfreight.com. Yeah. And you guys will see it on all of our socials, and we'll make sure that that's out there. But like the last 2 events, Daryl, they were amazing, sold out events, and this one's going to be fantastic. And I don't want to say it like if you need an MC or if you need somebody like take tickets at the door, I'm your guy. I will completely do whatever you need me to do. But if I'm not needed on stage, I'm looking forward to attending it with my sons.
Yeah, that's a good plug for everybody else, because we do need. It's always good to have hands on deck for that event. So if you're open to volunteering, or maybe you have daughters and you still want to be involved, it'd be great to to come out as a father and just volunteer. And we've got lots of guys that came out the first time, and now they're on board and they're just waiting to help. So yeah, we need registration. We need kind of liaison in the theater. So yeah, we need definitely some volunteers.
Awesome. Well, it's going to be a great night, Daryl. We love having you on the show. We love hearing about all your adventures, everything you're supporting. Obviously, we work together on so many endeavors, and we always just enjoy putting good people together to do good things, whether it's the ride, whether it's the men's mental health movie nights, or if it's sending someone to the Olympics. It's a pretty good thing we got going here, and we're just happy that you're our friend and you're part of our little circle. So thanks for coming on the show, and thanks for sharing with us and everyone listening. It's great to have you.
Thanks, brothers. Take care.
Love you, Daryl.
Love you guys too. Take care.
Well, Sheldon, I know Bad Bunny won't be performing at the father-son movie night, so you'll be happy about that. What you probably won't be happy about is that we've got to take a break right now. And then when we come back, we still, we're way past, but I knew this was going to be an action-packed show. We got a few things to talk about, I don't know if we're going to hit them all, but we might as well wrap this up in style. If you guys are still here, thanks for joining us every Tuesday night on The Ride. We're live at Chevy and Nasty on YouTube and Facebook, but if you go to bed, you can pick us up tomorrow right where you left off on those channels, or go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Amazon Music on your way to work. We love that you join us. Take a quick break now, and when we come back, we'll finish this off.
Performance Freight Management is a global logistic freight shipping company that will handle the entire shipping process for any package to any country. Whether it be a simple truck shipment from your office to Toronto, or your company importing generators from China, PFM Freight handles it all. We have the expertise and technology to handle any shipping requirements. Skip the guesswork and let us take the shipping pain off your plate.
Do you want your business to be known? YYCCalgaryBusiness.ca is Calgary's only online media platform that gets you noticed. Short-form video content is rapidly taking over as the most effective way to engage your audience. Whether you're being interviewed on a vodcast, sharing a sizzle reel, or even hosting your own show, there is one place you can publicize your business. We want to tell your story and introduce you to our network of empowered business owners and leaders right here in Calgary. Isn't it time you took your digital game to 11? Call us or email us now.
Welcome back, everybody.
I was still waiting for Trey to play the French-Canadian song that I sent him, the Cowboy Frignon from Quebec, but I guess it's not going to make the Grey Cup. It doesn't make the cut.
I'd give it a shot. I'd give it a shot. But I just want to say this. And guys, you've seen Daryl. A lot of you guys have been to his events. Daryl is one of the most amazing men that I've ever met. Just in the fact that all he does is brings people together.
Yeah.
If he meets somebody that he thinks is interesting or has a need or has like a desire to give, he'll find a person to set you up with and to talk to. And he does so many cool things. I mean, yeah, Daryl McAvaney, he's a true Canadian beauty.
And absolutely. And I mean, you know what's neat? You know, we always talk about our little community. We said the Ride Nation in the poem. I think it's pretty cool because I mean, you know, if we're going to go back, it kind of started with you and I doing the show and trying to figure out a way to do this. And I know not everyone listens to the show, but you know, the things that we were able to connect with a guy like Daryl and Bruno and some of the great guys that we have through the show. Talk about Trey too, right? Like the people we've connected, it's not just, it's very organic and it's broad spanning. Like you've introduced people to Daryl that all of a sudden that relationship has taken off and they're doing great things. You know, I've introduced people to Daryl and it's taken off and doing great things. And he's introduced people to us and it's taken off and doing great things. And it's just a network of really good, going back to Cozy's comment, good people. And I think when you have good people with good intentions and selfless intentions, good things happen. Like when we pulled off that first men's health movie night, we didn't know if anyone was going to show up and how pleasantly surprised we were. And then last year, even more people showed up. And now we're going to do another one. I think this one's going to be, I mean, if we could fill 3 theaters, I think we could be on pace to fill 3 theaters. But I mean, what a great event is coming up. Again, March 30th, for those of you that, you know, need the reminder. Again, Brett Gardner, his son Grady, Keon Raymond, we're going to be there. I'm sure we're going to be saying something, but you know what? Top Gun Maverick, no slouch of a movie. One of my favorite movies.
I still haven't seen it on the big screen. Like I've watched it a couple of times at home. I'm excited to see it on the big screen.
Best big screen experience. You will not.
You know
I
what
think
I'm
that's what
excited
you
about.
have to do. Yeah,
I'm picturing if you and Brett or Luke or Kyle got on the stage and hashed it out, what would actually be said?
Oh, I don't know.
I've heard Brett Gardner speak. The guy's amazing, and he's as real as it comes. I'm looking forward to that conversation with his son to see what kind of stuff comes out. Because I've had some tough conversations with my sons, and you know, sometimes I prove myself to be right as I always think I am, but sometimes I get a little bit humbled, like, oh God, I missed that one. I'm kind of curious what that's going to look like.
I'll tell you something coming from a very humble spot. I fail, or at least I feel I fail as a dad more than I succeed. Like I got great kids. You know, my boys are great boys and I love my boys and I'm very proud of them. And, you know, there's days where I got to coach them up and stuff and days, but I'm always feel like I'm failing. And when you're a single dad, it's very tough to measure where you are and not trying to feel successful and feel good, but just feeling like, am I doing an adequate job? Am I getting them to where they need to be? Are we at the right benchmarks? You know, am I too much or too little? Am I too emotional? Am I bringing too much of that softness out of them? Am I too hard on them? And I'll tell you what, for me personally, not only is this event, am I looking forward to it, because it's one of the things we do. It's our way to give back to the community, and it's fun to do these things. I'm very humbly looking forward to it because I feel I need some direction sometimes, and I don't seek it. I don't ask it. I'm not going to go see someone, but I feel like this would be a great opportunity for me to get something out of it.
You get that out of talking to other dads, right?
Yeah,
and that's
now I get to do it with my
son.
sons.
But let me say, yeah, exactly. Yeah. But let me say this to you: you probably screw up a lot of things with your sons. You're probably too much of a hot-headed Italian, just like I'm too stubborn and old school. But the fact of the matter is, we bring wisdom to our sons, just like our dads brought wisdom to us.
Yep.
We might do it in the wrong way that doesn't relate to them at this time. But right now, the point that I'm at, especially with my oldest, is I'm like, God, sometimes he thinks I'm an idiot because I can't portray it in a way where he just says, oh my God, remember when your kids were young?
Yeah.
Dad was the hero of the plot. The dad was the hero of the movie. You can do anything wrong. And now they question a lot of things.
Yep.
And me, I'm telling myself this, Chevy, and I hope this gives you some inspiration. Once your kids hit 17, 18, 19, start going off to university, you've got to believe with faith that when they turn 25 and 30, they're going to be just like us. Yeah. Holy crap. Dad knew what he's talking about. I get it. I didn't get it then. I get it now. He wasn't being a dick. He was making sure I was ready and prepared to bring my value to this world, to my company, to my job, to my girlfriend, to my family when I'm 30 and 35 years old. Yep. The wisdom that a dad brings, we don't always have the perfect gift of delivering it at the time when they're 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. But those messages, if you stay consistent, it comes back to them when they're older. At least I God that it does.
And I sure hope you're right. And that's all I hear. I think while I'm doing it, I don't feel like I have a soft place to land sometimes when I think I really messed up. I think that's the hard part. When you really think you mess up with your kids and the room goes quiet and the door slams or they go off to their mom's place and there's no soft place to land, you often just sit there spiraling and wondering, how bad did I make this situation? Or how much did I not coach? So, I mean, but that's maybe every dad, right? So the point is, I'm really looking forward to this event because it really speaks to something that I feel I can benefit from. And I'm hoping that my kids can come again with the busy kids schedule, the sports evals for lacrosse, and one son works in university. I'm hoping to get at least 2 of 3. If I can hit 3 of 3 in the room, it'll be a great night for the Chevy boys. So I'm really looking forward to it. Sheldon, we'll talk more about in the coming weeks. In fact, I think got inspired.
Where we go?
It's our son. Speaking of our son, Trey, we're going to bring you to Father's Sunday. We almost forgot.
See, mom and dad aren't fighting anymore. You see how we made things up? Like,
you guys have done enough tip touching for the last.
Okay,
10
let's
minutes,
go. Let's go. Let's bring it on. Trey, what
people got bents to go to soon. Okay, first one. I think this is hilarious and it's kind of on brand for us. What do you guys think about the penis gate?
Oh, well, Sheldon wanted to be a ski jumper last week. I think, Trey, I forgot what sport you said you wanted to do. I think you want to be a curler. I want to be a bobsledder. And Sheldon wanted to be a ski jumper. And now we know why, because Sheldon's been injecting his junk and he just wants to fly further. He's Amanda's getting the ski jump surprise. Well, all the hockey players with all their money are walking around the Olympic Village trying to impress the ladies with their Stanley Cups and their hockey sticks. The ski jumpers are walking around with the real sticks between their legs, and good for them.
Why are you mad, bro?
I'm not mad.
I mean, you're talking to a guy. When I was in the NCAA, we had the Reebok pumps to like inflate your shoes to get that good fit. Now, if you got a little pump to like increase your performance in the ski jump, this is the Olympics. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. So,
Sheldon, I'm not mad. You know why? You know how many wonderful conversations this line has got me into? What's a long snapper? I mean,
okay. 200 points for things that never happened. Is that really your go-to line? Like you go, I'm a long snapper.
I don't. I'm saying, but that conversation has happened several times. Like, tell me about the long snapper. It always ask any long snapper. You need to tell me what a long snap is. So you know what? Listen, if ski jumper's greatest representative and most visible athlete in the last 30 years is Eddie the Eagle, They need all the edge they can get. And if it's injecting the junk for a little bit of extra distance.
Is it so? Okay, now let's have a realistic talk. Is it cheating, or does this just make sense?
Yeah, like, listen,
I'm not taking
know.
steroids. If anything, I'm getting like liposuction, or in reverse, I'm injecting fat into my biceps, so it makes my
so I think it's like it's a temporary acid. So it's basically like a Viagra pill, is it not?
I don't know. Trey,
I think
us.
so. That's what it is. It's like a hydroloric acid or something, and so it's only temporary. It's in your genitalia for 4 hours, and it.
Well, listen, whatever it is, I don't think it's cheating. In fact, we just talked in the last segment about how terribly underfunded and marketed Canadian athletes are. I see this as a fantastic funding opportunity for Canadian ski jumpers to align themselves with medical cosmetic clinics for junk injections. Like, I could see the ad now. Fly higher and further than you've ever done. You should make
the commercial.
I think so.
Yeah. I'm going to reserve judgment, but I might have to do a little bit of research over the next couple of weeks just to figure this out. What'd you call it? You didn't say hydrochloric acid, did you?
No, hydroloric with an L, I believe.
That's a lot better than hydrochloric acid.
Yeah, no,
I'm going to do a little research on this. That could be interesting.
Okay, so is it a
studs and duds?
Which one?
Chev, it's a move. If he ain't cheating, he ain't trying. And they are not technically cheating. They are expanding rules to the point that we never understood rules to be before. It's a good move. I'll let the judges make a ruling on it, though.
Just flying down the hill with a large boner.
Okay, Jesus. Okay, moving on. Another Olympic-related one. Chevy, you were into this on the chat this week. What do we think about Lindsey Vonn?
Oh man, there's two schools of thought there. There's people that say, the athletic, the medical authority, whether it's of her association, whether it's the Olympics, should not have let her compete. And then there's another school of thoughts like you cannot keep an athlete down. Medical advances in the last 15 years have been phenomenal. Like, you look at Aaron Rodgers a few years ago, ruptures an Achilles. He comes back in less than a year. When Sheldon and I played football, you ruptured an Achilles, it was a death sentence. Like, you couldn't even walk anymore as a retired athlete, let alone come back. So I'm not sure where the medical advances are on a ACL rupture 3 weeks before competition, but I got to assume someone had to raise the red flag there. But she's an Olympic legend. This is her last kick at the can. I mean, she went for it. I don't know. It's like a fighter in a fight, not giving up. I don't know where I stand on this, but I mean, how are you going to tell an athlete that's that convicted? Daryl said this. He said the only time he's ever seen Bianca is when she has that look of determination in her eye. That look doesn't leave an athlete until they're either carted off the field or they win. And no one's gonna convince them otherwise if they have that look in their eye. And I suspect that Lindsey Vonn is that type of person that feels, without a doubt, that they are bigger than the injury they're sustaining. She could have willed herself down the hill in the very least. So I don't know. I like her mentality, but I think it's a dud on everyone else for letting her go down. You, Sheldon?
I'm going to take it back to the days that we played. And yeah, there has been a lot of advancements. Achilles tendons do regrow. ACL you can recover from in 5-6 months instead of a year. But the number one thing that's always been true is that an athlete will never stop if there's a chance. Yeah. Back in the days, we had great trainers like Pat Clayton with the Calgary Stampeders. And just think back to some of the other trainers that you played for before that said no. When the concussion protocol came out and they had to tell you no. At a certain point, the grown-ups in the room, and I don't care if she's 41 years old, if anything, that speaks to the fact that her body's not going to recover. And maybe without a structural ligament there to hold your leg together, you should not go for the most aggressive race in the history of the world. Nothing against Lindsey Vonn. I admire her courage, and I admire her team for supporting her. But at a certain point, I got to believe somebody's got to say, Lindsey, what a story. Go do the speaking circuit, but we cannot risk putting you up on that hill. I feel I don't think she's going to walk away thinking that somebody let her down. And that's the only reason I'm okay with this. She wanted to try it, but this could be life altering.
Now, if I'm not mistaken,
I just wish you the best.
I agree with you completely, Sheldon. But if I'm not mistaken, she did compete after that, right? Like she did have a couple of runs. It's not like this was her first run since the rupture. I actually think she went down, and that's kind of what made her think she could do the Olympics. So
but she retweaked it during training.
Yeah.
I don't know what the answer is.
Here,
I know what I do. I would have been on team. If it was me, I'd be team Lindsey Vonn.
Yeah.
It would take my mom to keep me off that hill.
Yeah.
I would have to promise my mom that I would not put my leg at risk like that. When your ACL's gone, you do not have a structural ligament holding your top half and your bottom half of your leg together. Now, I'm not a doctor. I might have just completely made that up.
Connor McDavid. Hold on. Connor McDavid, Game 7, Stanley Cup, ruptures his ligament in his knee, but he says, "I'm playing." What are we doing, guys? We're the doctors here.
I'm the doctor. I'm pulling it, and I'm going to make him sign a waiver.
I mean, he's going to play.
So there's a chance.
These guys are crazy. I'll flip it. I'll flip it a little bit.
Put some ice on it. Rub some dirt on it.
Did you guys even see the crash? Like she snagged her pole on one of the flags is what took her up. Like super unfortunate. She probably would have made it down the hill because you're right. She did do training runs beforehand. And yeah, that was pretty unfortunate.
All I know is I went skiing with my son. Was it 3 weeks ago now? And I wasn't moving at her speed. And I was trying to go slowly down. I went down the wrong hill that had some moguls. I was like, I don't belong here. And I'm trying to go down. And I was not even moving fast. But every time my ski turned up the hill because I was too scared to go straight down, I felt my knee was going to snap. And it's not a good feeling. And I don't know how you can attempt an Olympic run. But, she had a great career. She had such a great career. And I don't think there's any shame in her having tried. It's unfortunate it ended for her that way, but
yeah.
I think there's going to be green pastures on the way for her. So stud for her trying, a little speed bump in her life.
I just pray for her medical team that she gets a proper rehab because that looked nasty, but I'm sure she'll be fine. We're only 10 years older than her, but at 51, let's stick to night skiing with lights and music playing on the mountain. Going down the bunny hills.
Oh, I got bamboozled. I went down that Moguls Hill. I was like, wait a second, where's the flat section? And I was like, and I had these little 5-year-old kids just zipping by.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I hate you guys. And I'm like, falling every 5 seconds. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't tear my knee, but I felt it because I had heard it in ball hockey the week before. So it's just starting to feel better, but I haven't taken much time off. But if it was a full tear, I don't know, man, I wouldn't be attempting anything. If it was a full tear, I'd be crying right now. Trey, what else you got for us? What else? There's so much going on.
I know, but we're at an hour 40, so I got 2 left.
Okay.
One more I sent to you guys right before we started. I think it's kind of hilarious. And Sheldon, you chimed in on it too. But this Norwegian guy, does anybody want to fill the people in? Or do you want me to?
Oh, he jumped in. He wins the bronze medal, right? In biathlon. He's a legend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then
Norwegian legend.
Okay. So I'll set it up. So heading into the Olympics, this guy has this come to Jesus moment where he's like, I love my girl and I have not been honest with her. I have cheated on my girl one time. And as I head into the Olympics, I have to cleanse my soul. And he admits to her that he cheated with her with another girl. Does the right? I mean, very honorable, right? She deserves to know. What does she do? What any self-respecting girl with self-esteem would do with a good dad. Sorry, bud.
Dumped his ass.
You're out. Dumped his ass.
Yep.
And this guy did during a live broadcast after he won his medal. He outs himself saying, thanks. I'll take the congratulations. Thank you very much. I want all of you guys to know out there, every one of you who supported me through my run, and you know how hard it's been. Thank you for your support, but I'm a piece of shit. I cheated on my girlfriend. She dumped me, and she deserved to dump me. And I am a cheater, And I just hope through this act of exposing myself, what did he call it, Trey?
Social suicide.
Through this act of social suicide, where you guys are all going to look down on me, I hope I can convince her that I truly love her and I want her back. Chev, would you do that?
Hell no. Real Romeo Casanova move on Valentine's. I think he even, to add a little bit of poetry to it, he said something like, I may have won the bronze, but I lost the gold. Wow. Yeah, no, I think it's kind of a bit of a dud move. I think that's something you do behind closed doors. First of all, the reason you do that behind closed doors is, you know what? There's no guarantee you're getting this girl back. And now you're exposing her to the world. Like, it's one thing to expose your crappy behavior, but if everyone knows, typically these athletes, everyone knows who they're going out with. And now, maybe she didn't tell anyone why they're not together. And not only did he commit suicide for himself socially, he pretty much committed suicide for her, because that there's going to be memes, there's going to be comments, there's going to be calls. Like, I know we're joking about it, but mental health is a real thing. And I think, when I actually think about it, because I was just joking about it 2 seconds ago, but when I'm actually thinking about it after you brought it up and the way you kind of described, like, this guy probably messed her up even more now, because now she's going to answer for all his bullshit. Like, it's kind of like he made this moment where he was very selfish. He made it even more selfish about him instead of
Thank you. So can I jump in here? So I'm going to
go ahead.
I tried to set it up like in a nice way. Yeah. This is the most narcissistic psychopath I've ever seen in my life.
Yes.
Not only is he making it about him, he's making sure that he was never forgotten in this moment. And he's also playing the part of the bad boy / good boy, that every other girl out there, he can use this to his advantage in the future. I'm a bad boy, but I'm really good and I'm pure. Like, this guy's going to use this to his advantage in every situation that he can going forward. The guy's a narcissist. I feel bad for the girl.
And I'll say this, there's probably a deeper psychology here that if we actually unpeeled and took a show, like, athletes, we're all athletes. Trey's an athlete in golf. Sheldon, you're an athlete. I'm an athlete. You go through a period.
I like how you caveat Trey when you say golf, but
no, I just want to make sure. Well, it's not, everyone knows
Trey,
us.
I believe golf is an athlete. I just would
have
to give you a precursor.
I'm not saying it to clarify.
He's an athlete, but he plays golf. Okay, go ahead, Chef.
I'm saying for the people listening, to make sure that everyone knows that all three of us understand that at some point there's a level of commitment that it takes where, pretty much everyone around you becomes almost a distant second from the goal you're trying to achieve, whether it's trying to get to CFL, whether it's trying to get to the NFL, whether it's in season, in playoffs. Like, being an athlete of the highest caliber involves a very, very selfish pursuit of excellence that is unmatched by anything else you've ever seen. And a lot of people in that pursuit, which sometimes starts at a very young age, don't develop any other skills, including empathy, including relationship skills, including coping strategies, including awareness. And so, yes, I agree. This is like the utmost narcissistic move someone could do. But at the same time, I think this guy thinks this is actually a good thing. I don't think he sees it with Nate, because he probably doesn't have the skills to cope with what he had done when he cheated on her and what he's doing right now, thinking, well, maybe this will make it right. Like, a lot of athletes lack very basic human interaction skills. I mean, take case in point, we talked this week, kind of off a little sidetrack. Look at Stephon Diggs for the New England Patriots. He's got Cardi B, who I believe he has 1 or 2 kids with. Don't quote me on this, because I don't know.
I think one on the way.
One on the way, and a baby mama who just had his recent baby. They go to the Super Bowl together. Cardi B spends $1.2 million on an after party for her man, and then she finds out during the game that he brings his baby mama and has her front seat at the game. So she breaks up with him.
Seats. Broke up with him. Lose the Super Bowl and get broken up with. Worst game of life.
I'm okay with that, Chef. Do you know why?
There's a lack of awareness there.
They're both narcissists.
Yeah,
Yes.
fair enough.
Like they're
Stephon
incredible.
Diggs is a
Wasn't Cardi
huge
B?
narcissist.
Cardi B before she made her big break, and not that I'm hating on strippers here, but she was a stripper at a club in Chicago where
Yes.
she used to. She was. She used to rip. She used to take guys back to the hotel room, drug them, and take their money.
Yeah.
And the whole world just laughed at it, saying, "Hey, she did what she had to do." She's as much of a narcissist as Diggs is.
Well,
So
look at James Pierce.
So maybe
look
good
at
on
James
him.
Pierce this weekend. We talk about athletes
Oh,
not knowing how to
God.
cope. James Pierce. Did he
I don't know
win
the
it?
story. I don't know the story.
Atlanta Falcons draft pick this year. He had 10 sacks, I believe.
Yeah,
Trey.
first round
Just-
draft pick. Yeah,
first round
10 and a
draft-
half sacks. Yeah.
He was going out. This was just in the news this weekend. Did he win an award at the NFL Awards this weekend? Because his mom was on
No,
stage talking about him.
Yeah, he won something, but nothing big. Like he's a good player. They
Anyway,
drafted
Sheldon,
like 13th
so just to let you know, he's been going out with this very beautiful WNBA player, Rika Jackson, and I guess she broke up with him. Yes, she broke up with him while he was in LA for the awards, wherever they were. He flies back, goes to her house, threatens to kill her. She's driving to the police department. He repeatedly slams his Lamborghini into her car, trying to kill her and run her off the road. Police arrest him, takes 10 cops or seven cops to arrest him. This guy is done. He's done.
Yeah.
He's done. It's caught on video, the whole thing. I mean, when you talk about guys
Young men
lacking
have to
this-
learn how to control their testosterone, because I think all of us have been in that situation where testosterone spikes.
Yep.
And hopefully it's in the cause of good, defending someone or helping somebody out at the bar. But if you don't learn how to control your most primal instincts in your early 20s, you're gonna land up.
Yeah, but Sheldon, you can't even help someone at the bar. Look at Gavin McKenna. I mean, this is a great topic. We're going over all the time, but
I have no
flows into
problem
the
with
next.
what Gavin McKenna did, though.
Oh, I know, but you
no
know what?
problem.
He could have easily landed in jail.
Yeah,
He could have easily landed in jail.
he could have. But I tell you what, it would have been worse if he followed that dude out of the bar and slammed his Lamborghini into it in an attempt to kill him, and he couldn't calm down. He couldn't bring down the adrenaline to the point that he could think like a rational human being.
Well, yeah, and again, there's a difference here because Pierce literally was on a flight for about 5 hours contemplating what he was going to do. He had time to calm down before he landed, and he still went through with it.
Dude,
Gavin
it's just a
McKenna,
girl. It's just a girl.
I see red if someone says something about my mom, but it is interesting because we talk about fathers and sons. We talk about, the fathers and sons. Like after the Gavin McKenna incident, I actually had a word with my boys because I know I joke around in the chat line. I send you guys videos. My boys fight almost every game. There's always some rough stuff going on in one of their games. I didn't send you the most recent one where Luke got into a fight last weekend and some kid recorded it. And it's like, yeah, it's part of the game, but it's not really part of the game. And, I was having a discussion with my girlfriend, Brittany. She's like, I don't like the fighting in sports. She's like, I didn't think that's what sports was supposed to teach people about. That's not her deal. And it's fine because some people, and she's like, at what point is hockey about the game and then it becomes about the fighting and the violent aspects of it? And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's the first guy that runs a crease in midget and the coach says, no one runs your goalie's crease. Make sure if they get close to your goalie, you let them have it. And maybe it builds from that. I don't know. But I will say this, some of those things and that discussion with her made me really have thought I got to have a conversation with my kids to let them know, like, yeah, I get it. You guys are in this hyper fueled, testosterone packed environment. You're playing in the jungle. Your buds encourage it. Maybe your coach encourages it. It's fun. It gives you something to talk about. But remember, in that confine, it's okay. When you're in the bar, I mean, someone could press charges. You can go to jail.
Yeah.
It's not like 20 years ago, Sheldon, when you went to the bar, no one had a camera. Your word versus his. Now it's all there. It's all there to be seen.
Yeah.
And young men are going to be targets of that, right? Because we're the ones
there is a time when a man has to step up.
Yeah,
you better be able to take a mama joke. And if the only thing I would teach my sons off of that whole thing is if a girl ever lets you down, and I get the hormones, I get the hurt, I get all the emotions, maybe rage, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Let her go.
Yeah.
You're 22. You're rich. You are actually going to come out of this situation. The winner is better now than 5 years down the road with 2 kids.
You're talking to Trey now, right?
Trey. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to my boys.
Sounds
never
like
let a woman get in your head. You can lose and still win. But you'll never win if you overreact.
You never win if you lose.
And not only is that bad against society and laws, that's bad as man to man. If you take your aggression and you direct it in the wrong direction, another man should correct you. And in this case, I mean, I can't even remember the guy's name. He should have had a buddy that hauled him off at the airport, beat him up, threw him into a basement, because that's what we would have done to one of our with Chevy. We've done that to our irrational drunk teammates before they got themselves in trouble. You need another man that will put you in your place to keep you out of that kind of trouble, because that's
for sure. I agree. Man, who would have known that our third segment was going to be the dick around?
And I still have one more thing I want you guys to
Trey,
talk
you're
about.
killing me.
I know, but
hit it.
But Chevy, you have something you want to tell everybody, because you and Rubio were going at it this week in the group chat about this long snapping.
Oh yeah. Well, listen, I'm watching the Super Bowl. I see like 100 long snaps there. I don't know how it came out, but I said, it just makes me want to play again. And you and Rubio were like chirping me, like you actually think I can't do it. Like Rubio thinks it's so far out of the realm. Like he's like, oh, what was this? There's a denial is a river in Egypt saying basically that and I said, listen, it's not about ability, it's about opportunity. Jeff Garcia just gave a big speech at the Super Bowl on one of the podcasts talking about, the difference between the CFL and the NFL athletes are very minuscule, and it really comes down to opportunity and politics. And I'm very well aware that no one's ever going to give a 50-year-old a shot because it's just so far against the norm. But that being said, this 50-year-old still has it. And I know you guys were tripping me. So Rubio has this long snapper evaluation form that he sends out to all long snappers. And it's like, basically you got to film yourself. It's very scientific. I mean, shoot, I didn't even need to do this when I got to the NFL, but it's like film yourself for like 8 short snaps from one side, camera facing the guy who's on the floor, sitting on his butt with his hands in front of his face, then 8 from the other side, then 7 long snaps from behind with the camera over his head, then do that with punt snaps, and blah, 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 blah. There's a whole like formula. Never stop the camera from running. It's got to be running. Like the only thing I'm saying is run the camera. There's no cuts. Run it the whole time. And then you go to do like all the running and stuff. I said, I could do this. I said, at first I said, hey, give me a week. And then I actually looked at his test. I was like, Jesus, okay, maybe I need a month to train for this. And I'd like some nice weather. But yeah, I said, come, late April when it gets nice, we'll find a football field that has lines, because his criteria, it has to have football lines. And Trey's going to come out and film, and I'll do the Rubio workout. I mean, I'll do some long snapping. I haven't snapped like seriously in a few years.
Chevy,
if I train for it, I got it. I'm going to be on the Rubio watch list.
Chevy, this is coming from a standpoint of kindness and respect. I'm going to start off by saying this. You could. I have zero doubt in my mind that you could qualify on paper and on film for that qualification that you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take this back to the conversation we had with what's the guy's name? Flew off and crashed his Lamborghini into his girlfriend.
James Pierce.
Lindsey
James
Vaughn.
Pierce. I'm going to talk to you like I'm going to talk to James Pierce. I'm going to talk to you like anybody else I can say that says, baby, buddy, take a moment and think about this. Lindsey Vaughn, 41 years old, went for one last run at it. It didn't go well. Mike Tyson, we were all excited about that one. And you said that he was going to destroy Jake Paul. And I said, boxing is a 20-year-old and 30-year-old sport. You can snap like nobody else in this country can snap. I have no doubt about it. But I cannot, as a friend, allow you to run down the field in NCAA or the NFL against other 25-year-old professional athletes hitting you from the side. Dude, I'm going to save your life. The ACL or the Achilles that might be saved may be your own, and I'm going to be the one to save it for you.
You just said you tweaked your knee in ball hockey. What makes you think you're going to play in the CFL?
Dude,
or the
I had
NFL
that dream.
again?
Remember 2 weeks ago, I dreamt that I cross-faced with a pulling guard.
You fell out of bed?
I flew to my knee still hurts. I think I sprained my MCL, dude. Falling out of bed.
Guys, every man needs a mission. Last summer, at 49 years old, I pulled the fire truck, and it was the bucket list item I didn't even know I needed because I didn't even know I was doing. I didn't even train for it. I just showed up and did it. This one, I might put a little bit of effort into it, and we'll see where it goes. But I'm turning 50 this year. I always need something to work towards when it comes to fitness. And I thought, you know what? Just the sounds of the doubt is what's pushing me to want to do this even more. That when it is nice, Trey, we are going to get out there. Did you look at Rubio's thing? Did you look at the evaluation criteria and all that?
No, I haven't seen it, but you know what I want to do? Because me and my dad have been and my sister too, have been going at this for a while. I want to kick some field goals because like my sister thinks she can make like a 35-yard field goal. Like no chance. I don't even think I can make a 30 for.
Well, I just got to find some while you're filming. I got to find someone who can actually catch my snaps. Because
Sheldon, we need a holder, and you're gonna snap it, and I'm gonna kick it.
No, I said I need someone who can catch my snaps.
No, I can catch your snaps, dude. I'm just saying I'm not gonna catch him in a live game in the Super Bowl when I got a 27-year-old, 270-pound defensive end coming crashing down on me.
Oh yes, you will.
Yeah, Chef. I'll tell you what. I celebrate this goal. Just don't turn it into like that guy that we used to work the network with that was going to go and do it in the NCAA.
Oh no, I just want to do. I want to do Rubio's ranking, and then I just want him to send it to a bunch of teams and see what happens.
There you go, dude. All right.
Oh, okay.
Let's see what happens, bro.
Amazing. I can't wait. We are like 100%. This is happening. No ands, ifs, or buts. No bailing. I will book the field now. I don't care. We are 100% doing.
I'll find you a holder.
You know, my biggest concern is this. Like, I'm still in great shape. I still run pretty fast. Probably not as fast as I used to, but I run pretty fast. I move well, playing the ball hockey. My biggest thing is, and the snaps I'm sure are going to be fine. My biggest thing is I want to make sure I look good in that camera. Like, I want to make sure that when I roll up, you guys are going to be like, oh shit, that's 50. That's all I'm worried about. So the 2 months that I'm going to train is so that I'm not just going to be athletically ready. Like, I'll be athletically ready. I know that. But I'm gonna look like you're gonna be like, holy shit,
be like,
this guy's got it. I've been intermittent fasting now for a week. I don't eat between 8 o'clock at night and noon, and I swear to God, that first bite at noon is heavenly, and I'm literally full 2 seconds after. I promise you, in 2 months, if I do this for a little while longer, I'm coming in with that one ab, like that one good line down the middle. I'm going to do the whole thing shirtless, Trey. Just gonna be like we're sending Trey. We're like Rubio's gonna have to watch me do this without a shirt. It's gonna be an hour of just watching sweaty shit.
Nobody wants to see that, Chef.
Yeah, but Rubio does.
I'll tell you what, I got you back. I know you can qualify for it. I know you can. Like, it won't even be hard.
I don't think so.
My joke was really just about going against armed combat again.
Yeah.
At a certain point, you got to leave it to the younger guys.
Again, Sheldon.
But I went to battle with you countless times. I know the warrior you are. I know how you train. You can pull this off.
Sheldon, you know what the easiest job in the NFL or professional sport might be right now?
The long snapper.
Might be the long snapper. They're not allowed to get hit on the line. You cannot hit the long snapper. The punts are all fair caught in the NFL. Is there ever a punt that's returned? Like the one or two times?
When was the last time you seen a long snapper make a tackle in the NFL?
Literally, a long snapper.
Right.
All he's got to do is
CFL,
run downfield. Yeah, CFL is probably more dangerous than NFL because there's more kicks. I'm literally playing this out. Like yesterday was an anomaly. 15 punts in an NFL game is an anomaly. When I played in the NFL, you probably punted 5 times and maybe 3 or 4 field goals and extra points. 15 punts, 7 and 8 on each side. That's like a day's work.
Do you think that long snappers from Seattle and New England were like you were back in the day? Like insufferable? I had to snap like 8 times. My triceps are sore.
Yeah. No, I think they got a cush job. They don't get hit at all.
Sweet deal.
It's a sweet deal. Like on field goal, Sheldon, I lined up on a Monday night football game, Dallas Cowboys versus Washington Redskins, a classic matchup, overtime. Well, I think it was overtime. I can't remember now. It's 20 years ago.
It was a big snap.
For the game-winning field goal, having 2 350-pound guys lined up
that
over my head with pushers.
Through you. Yeah.
With pushers. That was what I faced daily. If I went back to this new NFL, I'd come out smelling better than I do going into the game.
You got me believing, Chevy. I feel like I'm watching, like, I don't know, Rocky 3, Rocky 4. Right now,
I don't even have to
Let's
run.
go.
I just have to deliver a perfect snap to an Aussie punter who's going to give it the backspin. My guys are going to down the punt, or he's going to fair catch it. I'm going to drink Gatorade and be like, Trey, we're going to the Super Bowl.
Woo! Let's do it. Oh my God.
Why can't we do this, guys? Why can't we do this? Why do we have to doubt the believers?
All right.
Why, guys?
Okay,
so we're going to let all you guys
that
that are still with us, because I know we went extra long tonight. We're going to let you know Chevy and Nasty next season may be a thing, may not be a thing. Chevy may be in a Super Bowl, so it might be Trey and I like making a trip down to, where is it, New Orleans, wherever it is next year.
SoFi, LA.
There you go, LA.
Maybe it'll give us the boost that we need for a few more viewers. You know, be like, oh yeah, NFL guy, old guy, played it. Listen, man, the sky's the limit. When you believe in yourself, good things happen. Good people get together to make good things happen for you when you believe for the right cause. And I think everything we've done here, you know, we joke around, we talk about mental health, we put on events, we do good things, send people to the Olympics, help people out. That's what we're about. Having you guys here, whoever's still here joining us, we love it. Sheldon, you and I don't agree on everything, but we agree that we love meeting up every Tuesday to do the show. Trey, we don't agree with everything you do, but we do agree that we're happy for you that you won your Super Bowl. And everyone else, we agree that you're the best people out there. We love the comments. We love that you show up every Tuesday. We'll see you next week, and have a good week and enjoy it.
Go Hawks, go Team Canada. We're going to win the gold medal. Don't worry. And shout out the Seahawks. Enjoy this.